you gonna get on this coaching rumble? No, because I'm the best coach. I'm the best. The best does not stoop to this silly nonsense that's going on. Alright. That's all I gotta say about that. The best does not fuck with that.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
No way, Jose. She put those two in their place. No, I just don't have stock in it. Can I be honest about it? Honestly, like, can I be honest about this for a second? The whole like G-Bay coaching drama thing is great, and it's great content, and it's entertaining. Like, I get it. But the more that I was watching that, the more that I was just kind of like, this is all well and good, but like 90% of the shit that they're teaching these guys is going over everyone's heads. Like, okay. So you're telling G-Bay, you know, do X, Y, and Z on Aurelia, and you'll get to Masters or whatever the fuck they're trying to teach G-Bay, right? And there's lots of great discussion points, a lot of good things coming out there. You know, whether to flank, whether to push, whether to use your ult, whether to do this, whether to jerk off on your keyboard. All this shit's going on. But I'm over here thinking like 99% of the player base, this is useless to them. Like, it really is, because most of these players were not even like G-Bay's in Diamond. Most players aren't in Diamond. And then to add to that, half the shit that they're like talking about G-Bay's never gonna remember it anyways. I mean, I get it. People want to see drama and people debating and yada yada, but it really doesn't apply to much, in my opinion. But I mean, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm not convinced that G-Bay has it in him anyways, so I think it's just wasted dollars. So we're doing a full clear in this replay. We're doing a full clear. Ganking without red buff. You're dead to me already. You've died. Rip. You dead. I'm not a fan of these types of ganks. Do you know why I'm not a fan of these types of ganks? Because he can fucking walk away from them. He can literally see you and walk backwards, and then you can't get him. That's such a waste. We're assuming that Victor's gonna stand close enough to this bush and then react like a turtle, and then we're gonna get him. Stupid as fuck. Think about it. Comes out of the bush, Victor goes, and then he goes like this, see ya, and walks that way. Just do your clear. This shit sucks. What if Sejuani shows up, which she theoretically, I mean, this this is really funny to me because my Sejuani, hold on a second. Thanks Andy Dandy for the 7 months in a row. Dude, this is funny to me because this Sejuani is me, dude. This is me playing Sejuani. Last week when I was doing all that land grind and shit with Oryx, you know how long it took me to get through the jungle and get through it with good HP? Technically this guy's HP, what did he do? He did blue. All he did was blue and red. Wait, what? Hold on a second here. What is going on? Oh, he did blue, red, and golems. Golems 2. I'm having a brain fart. 2. That's 3, 4, and then 6, 2. Interesting. Golem's 10? I'm just like so blown away right here. Anyways, sorry. What happens if Sejuani's not an ape and goes... Yeah, it must be 10. So yeah, that would explain why he has 12. So blue, red, and then Golem's is 10. I wasn't sure if it was 10 or 11. My brain is not still warming up. So imagine if Sejuani's not an ape and goes blue, wolves, red, or blue, or yeah, blue, wolves, chickens, red, which is what I like to open with a lot on Sejuani right now. Imagine if Sejuani just like counter ganks you here once you chase Victor into the fog, you're dead. Personally, my belief with Yi is if you're going to be doing anything, you better be doing it with a red buff. And honestly, you should be the frequency of ganks. Like if every champion has like a frequency at which they show up. Like Lee Sin, you can be sure that with double buffs, Lee Sin's going to show up to a lane early. Like 80% of the time, he's going to show up in a lane early, right? In solo queue, you take a random Lee Sin, you drop him into a game. Lee Sin's going to go, what up, bitch? With double buffs early, right away, ASAP, like pretty much every game. Twitch. Frequency of cheeses with Twitch with red buff, really high. Frequencies with cheeses with Kha'Zix, about 50-50, right? Shaco, really high percentage. Sejuani, not so much. Yi, not so much. The only cheesing that you can really do with Yi, I think, is invading at people's camps because you can actually like 1v1. You can actually 1v1 quite a bit of people with Yi, and a lot of people don't think that, but you can if you catch them with your alpha, or if they face check a bush or something. So, essentially, what you should be doing as a jungler is you should always be asking yourself, like, is this gank even worth, like, let me back it up. Once you're finishing the chickens, right, you're looking at mid right now. I'm going to put myself in your shoes, right? I'm going to become the Void Reaver, all right? You're looking at this right now. You should be thinking, sure, I can show up and pressure this lane and give my mid space. But what's more valuable to me as a player, right? If I give this mid space, is it like he's going to magically win lane? No. Right? He's shit. Look how low he is. He's garbage at the game, being this low already. I don't know how he's this low. He's just getting shat on. Either way, I think, fuck that. I'm going to go and farm my red. I don't think you need to smite that either. I'm going to go and farm my red, do a full clear, and keep rolling. Relying on unreliable ganks and gimmick. Basically what we're trying to do is we're trying to come up with a strategy that works best for Yi. Like fundamental step-by-step plan. With every champion, that's what we do. And I should do a video on this eventually. But every champion, you do that. What is Yi really good at? Yi is good at... AM, thanks for 10 bucks. Appreciate it. Yi is good at nice, easy clear. We can get invaded, so we have to defend for invades, get through our jungle, farm up, hit 6, and then loosen up on our ganks at level 6. From 6, hopefully we get fed off of a couple good, well-timed ultimates, and then if we are fed, we could transition into splitting and or team fighting, depending on team comps. Generally, I think you should go for split pushing with Yi in most cases, because it's a lot easier to navigate than team fighting, but that's just personal preference. So doing these little ganks early, is that going to get us to our goal, which is getting to 6, hitting good well-timed ganks at level 6, and then getting fed? No, it's going to delay that, right? We can't delay that. It's a speed run. We're trying to get through to our spikes as fast as possible, just like we would with any lane, any role. When are we the strongest? Take advantage of it then, and then transition. So I hate this gank. This gank tilts me. It's pointless. Yeah, so what? You get Victor's ghost. Whoopie-doo. Whoop-de-doo, dude, as the old folks will say. Whoop-de-doo. So I'm not a big fan of that gank. And it's not like I said, it's not like Katarina's going to magically win lane enough of the time to justify it. And it's not like that gank's going to work enough of the time to justify it. So now we're ganking bottom. This one, see, I don't mind as much. And I'm going to tell you why. Because from what I can tell, they're not reacting to the ward. Generally, a good test gank, and you have red buff, a good test gank here, you stand here, you start moving out. If they react, then, you know, you give it up. If they don't react, though, and we still have our flash up, this is a good opportunity to blow some flashes. and get, you know, heal, exhaust, who the fuck knows. Looks like bot lane's already used their flashes, so this is a lottery gank. I like this gank a lot. Would I be ganking if people weren't poked down, or if it was a hypermobile bot lane, or you see how Karma's in a really compromising position? That's also why I really like the gank. I view Draven as pretty low mobility, so and you have the level lead and the red buff and all sorts of stuff going. You have a lot of stuff going for you, okay? So you go for the gank, you get paid. Twitch is an absolute animal. Should be gunned down in the streets for playing that situation as badly as he did, holding heal. Yeah, and you do push. Excellent. This was good. I hate the mid gank like the bot lane gank. So cut the fat of the mid lane gank out of your play, I think. Now we're about to be level 6. And you're looking for Darius. This is pretty much what I'd be doing here, bro. So this is good. You ult. Very easy, clean. Oh no. Okay, good. I think you cancel the auto, whatever. And then you shit on Sejuani. I mean, this is a great open. And you do say you get fed and can't carry. So what do you build? You build the jungle item. Pretty sure that's standard. Like, I'm not gonna bullshit you, dude. It's been a while since I played Yi in the 100 games to Diamond, and I don't like to mislead you and tell you to do something that you shouldn't do. Not many pros even touch Yi for obvious reasons, but he's a great noob stomp champ, so I'm never going to tell you to not play Yi. Yeah, this is pretty much in line. Jungle item into Blade of the Rune King, into Tabbies, and then or Mercs, or whatever the fuck you want to build. So I don't think itemization is costing you anything yet, of course, because you only really have bought the jungle item, but I'm just going to be monitoring what you build. Any reason why you're not re-hitting this Darius? Darius dips down into the river, and to me that means that he's warding here, and he probably doesn't have this warded. And if he does have this warded, you can clear a pink ward, and then Akali can freeze. Yeah, I think you should be looking at top side here, but we'll see what you do. So you put a deep ward in. And then you path towards the mid. Not a fan of it. And I'm going to explain why. We just killed this Darius. We're not really near bot lane, obviously, right? We're not near bot side. I don't have faith in our mid based on what we've seen early, right? As you were farming chickens earlier, and I was like, you shouldn't have ganked mid. You should be thinking, my mid sucks. He can't even lane. He's poked down to 80% at level 3. He's trash, right? Let him catch his own ass back up, as far as I'm concerned, and focus on getting fed or giving other laners a chance. In this case here, I mean, Akali's bad too, but either way, we could kill this Darius, and we've proven that we could kill this Darius, and we could slow this down, the inevitable snowball, a little bit. And like I said, it was in your path. You went right over honey fruit and then went into the enemy jungle looking for red. You tested red. You should beeline straight at Darius here. You got challenging smite up and ult is back up. I want to know if he's got a pink ward here, because like I said, he pathed down. Generally, people play very telegraphed in League of Legends. If they pass straight down, that means they're warding here, right? There's no reason that he go. Very rarely people go, haha, fake ward, and then they run here and ward here. That never happens, right? What you should be thinking is, wow, he just warded here, and I've got a flank on him. Let's see if he's got the pink ward here, and if he has the pink ward, we can clear it and then back him down, and he's gonna be scared shitless to do anything. So let's see if he had the pink ward down, if I'm right. So now you see it, right? And I'm looking at the replay first time, right? This is a ward. We see him place it, and we see that there's no pink ward. Do you think that he's going to be able to 1v1 us in this position? Nah. Not with challenging smite, and not with your ult up. And you're going to have a nice little path. Look at this path, dude. Look at this angle. This is why it's very important that when you get the flanks on people, don't be afraid to take them. I know there's a lot of minions here, but here's the key too. Akali can follow it up with a lot of damage as well. So yeah, even though even though top is losing, it's not like a terrible gank. Yi does very well against top laners that are very immobile, from what my experience is with the 100 games diamond on Yi. Does really well against top laners that are mobile, and it's one of my favorite things to gank top lane over and over again, especially when they're like that. Tenny Jellybean. It's one of the few junglers that can just 100 to know these types of bruiserish champions with an ult, and he gets behind them. So I really want you taking advantage of that. I don't want you missing these opportunities. So let's see what you do. I mean, that Darius kept pushing too, so it was just so juicy. So here, you ult for Sejuani, get a kill, clear the Gromp, Victor shows up, you scoot on out. I think you gotta be leaving because you don't have ult. What happened here? It seems like a really good spot for us. Hold on, let me get the blue. The only issue with this, and dude, I get it, this is really hard to do on the fly. You going for this Gromp is a little bit sketch, just because of where, you know, how the Victor is crushing on, is just beating up on your mid lane pretty consistently right now. You can tell that mid's push, so you should know that Victor's coming. As for escaping, you don't have a flash here. I guess this invade is kind of bad after the kill, just because you don't have flash and mid is pushing. So in a perfect world, and this is why we don't play champions that are immobile very often, like, and I'm not trying to kick you off a Yi or anything, I think Yi is really good for low elo. I'm just saying in general, this is what happens with champions like Yi. You use your ult, you don't have flash, you go behind enemy lines while mid is pushing. So with mid pushing, this opens up Victor roams. Victor could theoretically be top or moving towards bottom, you don't really know in this position. So technically the Gromp invade is like, it'll work a lot, but it's sometimes gonna fail, and this is just an example of when it fails. I can nitpick you here. I could tell you that probably next time when you're in these positions, whenever you're deep in enemy territory like this and you're getting collapsed on, the best move is generally to just cut right through mid and then decide whether or not to execute or back at golems or something. So you would basically either path straight up into the execute because you know Sejuani's dead, or you path through, take a tower shot or two or whatever, and then you go towards golems. You could execute at tower or just back near golem somewhere if Victor gives up the chase. Or if you see Darius giving up the tower, then you can execute. It's very advanced heads up play to do, but it's important that you remember anytime that you're caught in enemy jungle, same thing on this side, like say you do an invade, maybe you get a kill on the enemy jungler, you see the enemy team closing in, it's oftentimes worse to try to go back out through river than it is to just start going for a long execute, because the long execute means you pulled people out of lane, you gave your lane space. Okay, so just something to think about. Because that's something I had to learn. When I was playing Nidalee jungle a lot, if I'd get kills in the enemy jungle, for the longest time, I'd like get the kill, be low, get collapsed on or whatever. And then I started mixing in just like running straight into enemy tower or straight over the wall and then going for the execute. And then you get the invade and you draw people off of lane. So, yeah. Anyways, I don't want to harp on that too hard because that's out, you know, that's outside of the scope of what we're trying to do here. So you ult for the Victor. Very good call by you. I like it. I like that you took your power spike, you got your Greaves. I think you're copying Cowsep. Someone said Cowsep runs Greaves. I like your decisiveness there. What I'm gonna say in this spot is that you should be doing Rift. Ooh, brother. I think that was pretty well played by you, I'm gonna be honest. Really want Rift here after this. Take Rift. You could solo it, take it. Take Rift. Take Rift. Your team sucks at sieging. Take Rift. You have no siege. Thank you. Need Rift. Ult's up in 20. Just back and reset. How much gold do you have? Yes. Back and reset here. You just got an empowered back from Rift. It means you get a back a half the time and you get to leave with like a home guards-esque type of thing. Right? So like why are we jerking off still? 1700 gold behind. Build towards Bork. Or whatever the fuck you're gonna build. Don't matter. Very silly. There's no need to take this. This is already pushing to you. This is pushing. As in, these minions are going to kill your blue minions. Right? Red minions will kill blue minions and will get closer to your turret. Let those creeps be denied. Back, reset, and then start pushing out top with your new power spike. Alright. Do 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 do. You realize shit. They're not stopping me. This is all your fault. So you don't back, you don't convert the money out that you made, like that almost 2K before this point. You don't manage the wave properly. Essentially what I was saying with these creeps is that you could come back out and catch this wave here on this tower and then start moving out. The last thing is it's not timed well. You don't see anybody else on the map and then you start doing this push. With Draven showing behind River, it's either you need, yeah, honestly, I think you need to just ult for this Darius right away and challenging smite him and go for the trade. Because there's absolutely no fucking way that you're going to be, once this Draven is confident enough to come up river, I mean, either he's suicidal or he knows that you can't kill him. So I'd probably just go for the Darius. What's Darius items? Yeah, Darius is free kill. Literally free kill with challenging smite. There's nothing he can do. He's dead. Even with you not backing and spending your gold, you still kill him 100%. There's no way. There's absolutely no way you don't kill him. So yeah, turning away from him is probably, oh, there is a way that you don't kill him. That's how you don't kill him. So you're dead. In hindsight, this is why we needed to just back, push a little bit slower, wait for our team to draw their own pressure, and then we can move out with Rift. But yeah, you're pretty fucked here. And technically, yeah, you probably could have just turned on Draven and killed him, but you can't know that without good vision. So I think you just tried to, essentially you got Rift, but then you didn't put your gold back into the map and you tried to do too much on one rotation. You got to speed back, use it, and then reset. And that would have made for a better push. That was a big push to waste, dude. Like, not getting anything really done with Rift. I mean, you got the outer tower, big whoop. You should be able to get that anyways. Good alpha. You double killed their bot lane. That's awesome. You're really playing with fire there. I probably wouldn't even have challenged the last kill. And you start pushing out bottom. You should push out that wave. The reason you push out this wave is so you could get a little bit more XP and gold. Mid may or may not fall. I doubt it will. But either way, get as much value out of the situation as can and help your team shove in. Now back. You should back here. Why should you back here? Victor's going to be mid. Katarina's dead to Victor, 100%. But you're going to be able to catch the wave after your mid laner feeds. After your mid laner feeds, you catch the wave, you farm your jungle, and you start split pushing top. It's very important that we constantly reset and get back out on the map. Reset our gold, or get our gold back into the game, like all the gold we've made, and put it back into the map via pressure. It's the only way you carry a pack of retards. These guys are a pack of retards on this one. Galio doesn't seem that bad, but everybody else is pretty much losing. And assume that they're losing. Don't team fight with them. Get your gold back, off to a side lane, and split where you can 1v1. There's no one on the enemy team that can 1v1 you, like straight up. So you need to take advantage of that. This is dumb. Dumb as shit. Should have backed 20 seconds ago. All this is you're literally not waiting until your team has drawn any pressure before you're doing anything. You let mid is a wave built up. You skip the mid wave and you go and invade. How does this makes no sense, dude. Your bot lane is crammed under their tower. You got Butthole and Cookie Monster 317 holding down the tier 2. Problem is, why would you skip this? Fuck your mid. What's your mid gonna do? 1, 3, and 1, 92 farm. He can't right-click minions, so why aren't you taking the minions? Worst he does is rage and ping and spam and blah. He'll rage and ping. Either he'll AFK or get carried. He's not going to help you regardless, right? You don't have to be a dick to him. You don't even have to say anything to him. You just mute everything, take this, and then wait until your team gets pushed out a little bit more, because they will. They're not just... These players aren't good enough to win lane. They're not good enough to freeze, right? So might as well take this farm, wait until your team slow pushes out. Your team will inevitably die again, and you can time your push once they've pushed out. Invading with mid shove to tower, you're wasting this farm that Katarina is so nicely giving to you because she can't click minions. And then you could take that, move towards top, and start pushing as soon as your bot lane starts getting caught. And then you could 1v1 Darius in exchange for your bot lane dying, or they clutch it, who knows. Either way, you get the Darius, you get the tower, and then you pressure the inhib potentially. Bang, bang. Right? We're fed. It's awesome being fed as a split pusher. It's great. Feels great. Because split pushers can 1v1 everybody. So wait until you can get someone isolated and 1v1 them. Don't just run. Look at what you're doing. You're stepping over. You're stepping over your minions to go deep into enemy territory. Look at, count heads on the minimap, dude. There is literally no, they're at the bottom of the map. To the base of the map, and you're going all the way over here with a tower still up in mid and minions that you could have taken. Think about it. It's really silly. No one's gonna be able to help you at all. Nonsense, right? We waste our flash for nothing. We have to do that shit. Just give your team a second. Running around trying to find kills without your ult being up. Dumb as shit. Why? Because you're not going to be able to get anybody. Your whole team's losing. Who's going to engage for you? Twitch? Katarina? Akali? No. A support Galio who's behind? No. Again, your ult's on cooldown. Get off to a side lane and start building up a wave while your ult's on cooldown. You don't have to commit to a dive. All you have to do is just push out the wave calmly. Because, you know, your ult's on cooldown, but no one's just going to run up and beat your ass because you're fed. And you'll be getting more fed. Jerking off in the mid lane while, you know, your team does nothing because they just won't is pointless. Get the kill, start doing dragon. You back. And you're fapping. What are you doing? Let's go. Let's go. Time's a ticking. Clock's moving. What? How long was that? A cockroach fell on my mouse pad. I mean, that just double fail. A real man would have fucking flicked that motherfucker, slammed that bitch down, be like, I'm getting elo. That's what should have happened. Mills 187. Thanks for 2 months in a row. Unreal. If you want to be real thug life about it, you know what you should have done? You know what you should have done? A real thug would have just let him he would have coexisted with you. And then people would be like, wow, this guy's a badass. He plays with cockroaches like crawling over his fingers and shit. What a hero, right? Either way, fuck that cockroach. That dude's wasting your time. House burning down, mom. That shit can wait. I got a split push before we lose map pressure. Jesus, this really is a long time to waste too. You can't do this. You gotta, I guess that's your next step. Is you gotta learn how to deal with cockroaches. Let's get to the bottom of this. Cockroach coaching. Cockroach. Do they bite? They don't bite. Cockroaches are omnivores that eat plants and meat. They have been recorded to eat human flesh of both the living and the dead, although they are more likely to take a bite of fingernails, eyelashes, feet, and hands. Well, they'll clip your fingernails for you. The bites may cause irritation, lesions, and swelling. You can handle that shit after the game. I mean, I think you're fine. I think you're fine. If you have to choose between putting pressure on the map or letting the cockroach clip your fingernails for you, split push every time. Karen Elo. Yeah. I don't know, man. Really bad cockroach macro by you. Overall. Fuck. Oh boy. You have your ults. You're pushing. I hate how I haven't seen you really. You hit a side lane one time and you timed it poorly, and I don't know if you were just like, oh, I can't split because I got caught once. You got caught because you didn't wait for any of the lanes to push out. And when you're in that situation, you look around the map and you see your team stuck under tower. Just play, like, slowly push. Literally just sit in the lane and just last hit until your team starts pushing out, and then you start split pushing, and that way your split push is way better time. But I don't like that you're just kind of grouping up mid and hoping that it works, because I'm here to tell you, dude, it's not gonna work very often. It's gonna be very hard for you. So you start splitting finally. And then you challenge Sejuani. You get the kill. This was great. See, we trade tower. It's better than just dying. Now you need to leave though. I don't know what the fuck you're doing. Oh, are you okay here? I see two. I'm still wondering where, so that's, yeah, I'm still wondering where Darius and Victor are. We can't know where they're at, and we don't have our ult. We have flash, but we don't have our ult. I don't know if I'm staying here much longer, dude. I think I'm backing down. Okay, it looks like you luck out. I hate that flash, though. This is a gamble, by the way. Long term, you do this not knowing where Victor and Darius are. There's a very big risk that Victor could actually be collapsing on you from here or taking the long road. Like, they have home guards at this point, so Victor could theoretically just run out and path behind you and wait for Darius. There's a lot of ways we get caught here. That's why you need to back down right now. You gamble, it works out, and then Darius shows up. You turn on the Darius. Auto. Don't Q yet. You win this. You win this with challenging smite. Do not Q right away. Hold on a second before you just panic Q. It's in your favor. You are very, very fed. That is a Darius who is not very, very fed. You will win that with a level lead. The HP lead isn't significant enough. So hold your Q next time, and then you won't have to feel like you have to flash. See how you flash randomly? Don't worry about that shit. Just auto him down and hold the Q. Play a little Elo chicken with him. And see what happens. Now Sejuani shows up. She's probably going to throw an ult at you. And you're dead. Okay? That's why if you're going to go for that kill, make sure you get it. Otherwise, get the fuck out. You gave away your momentum by basically staying for that Darius for too long and not securing the kill. Okay, if you're gonna go for him, make sure that, you know, we're gonna hold our alpha strike and play it smartly. We don't have to jump in yet. We can hold that alpha strike. And remember, you'd accomplished, if we take it back a step further, after you got in the tower, technically you could have just left and you didn't even have to turn back on that Darius if you didn't want to. Also, the farther he follows you, the better it is for you because you could turn back into him if he gets too out of line. Alright? But the key thing here is you got the tower, so technically you could just go into the bush back and do the same thing on bot lane now if you want. And you're thinking, well, they might get Baron. Don't care. They're going to get Baron anyways if we fight 5v5. Right? Well, let them have a chance at it while we take pressure on the map, and maybe we can get a 1v1 and break down an inhib and buy. You're stalling the game with splitting. That's the point. If you get caught, guess what's gonna happen? This whole map's gonna go whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Everything's gonna push back out towards us. Why? Because none of the lanes are winning. You're the only thing that's keeping the game afloat. When you split, you get caught, you lose pressure, just like with Tryndamere. All right, so. Draven's humongous. They do not get Baron though. Very, very nice. Thank you, Amu. Appreciate it, bro. And then I think you just get way out of line here. Again, after you got the Victor, switching off towards bot lane or even pushing mid and then going bot would have been way better. You're playing way too deep without your ult. Right? Here, we'll back it up. Here's the kill. Leave. You gotta pick. You gotta trade kill in a shitty situation, right? Push out mid and then start swinging towards bot lane so you can start applying pressure to the map. Or that'll happen. Right? Every time you die, you give up the entire map. Yay, Master Yi. I don't know if I would have been hunting for that Victor if I was you. Any reason why you're not spam pinging Baron? I think you could have went for it in a straight... Well, whatever. It's fine. You don't have to rely on that shit. Ignore me. Notice how close you played to this tower without your ult. Enemy team's all up. Your Galio's on the top lane. And you don't have your ult. I probably wouldn't be on this tower if it's me. Your ult's coming up in 10. What can we do here? Why aren't you... Okay, you don't have a ward, so we can't do that. Team gets caught. Here they catch you and do Baron, and that's pretty much GG. Alright, so I think you can win this game. I think when you watch this replay with me, you see why I think you can win this game. I don't think this game was an auto-loss game because I don't believe you emphasized getting on the side lanes as much as you could have. Every time that you got off to a side lane, you were getting stuff done, even if your timing could use work. Like the time I was like, well, you should have slowed down the push, waited for your team to push out. Every time that you got off to a side lane, things got done. Did they not? When you think about it. You got a tower, you killed Sejuani, you pushed in, you take a tower, and it was like every single time that you grouped, what happened? Every time you extended a fight without, you know, your ult, you used your ult to get a kill, and then you extended your fight without an ult. What happened? You died, right? People collapsed on you, you died. You abandoned, you know, you abandoned getting off to the side lane or just collecting free farm around the map, you died. Why is that? It's because it is impossible in League of Legends to just like truly 1v5 in like in a middle of the map scenario. That's why every single good Smurf player when they play champions that have high win rates, they pretty much are always going to have a champion that can split on their own, can go off to their own and 1v1 people and outplay people. Even if they're not great duelists, that's what they do. If you need proof, all you have to do is see like my Gangplank stuff or my fucking Tryndamere stuff. You can look at Steven's Jax. You can look at all the Riven mains. You can look at the Yi players. The Yi players do that shit all the time. The good ones do that shit all the time. They get up to the side lane, they go and kill you. You show up at the tower, you die. Tried to split at the end. Yeah, well, dude, you can't... Let's be honest. At this point, the reason why I'm stopping the replay here is because they got Baron. Baron's like... I mean, we obviously know the game's ending, but like, once they get Baron, you're pretty fucked if your team's behind. If you don't have your own map pressure already created and they get Baron, you're fucked. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts, you're dead. And we lost our map pressure time and time again throughout the game. We lost our map pressure in dumb ways. You get the tower, you get caught. You get the Victor kill, you get caught. You push, but your team wasn't pushing. You made a lot of mistakes in the split push department. Thank you, Toxic. Make sure to have your replay in. NEACE Reviews Gmail. That's what happened, dude. Dudester, Dude McGee. Your open was great. And you were faced with a unique opportunity to practice your splitting and getting pressure on the map. But I don't think you were focused on it enough. And I think you need to be. I think you need to know when to shift gears. Alright? It was a good replay. I hope you learned something. You can always go back and watch it again. And yeah, make sure your cockroach macro is a little bit better, dude. Poor cockroach management. Rip you. Alright, it's NEACE, double shit gamer. I'm out. Peace cracks. Thanks. Yeah.